my mom adopted her, had her, I was already interested in taking care of children already. I was interested already, so I took the classes and got my MAP certificate and learned the rules of foster care and dealing with kinship foster kids, and, you know, and then my mom had got sick, and she asked me, did I want to take my little sister because I can't handle her no more. And I said, yeah, I'll take her. So she signed her over to me. She signed over to me, went to court, and I just decided to take over all the needs I took care of. So, you know, from 7-year-old until I kicked out. Until I kicked out when she was 20, but she's all right. She got a diploma, you know what I'm saying? She had to learn the timetables 3 or 4 times, how to read, how to write, you know, and getting her hair done, all the girly stuff that the little girls like to do. And I had fun doing it, you know what I'm saying? So once she got older, she's getting smart out the mouth, a little back talk and all that. So I went through all the stages with her, and it was beautiful. So I had to keep fighting for this. I had to keep fighting for what I believe in and what I like and what I'm going to continue doing. Y'all might see me with some kids in the next one of these forums, but that was one of the reasons why I kept it moving. Thank you.
Okay, so my next question for our panelists is, what would you say the solutions to the system would be? So because you guys are, you know, veteran foster parents, but just looking at it from both lens as a foster parent, but as also someone that as a parent you could have a case called in on you just the same. What would you say some solutions would be that would help to change how ACS and the relationship that they have with families today? So let's start with Estelle.
Let me think about that. Well,
I got you.
I can't think right now.
Things that I think the situation is really extremely tough when you're dealing with agencies that's not being supervised, ACS workers that's being taught to lie over exaggerated situation. A lot of our children aren't perfect. A lot of our parents aren't perfect. Foster parents aren't perfect. You know, ACS is not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So we need some supervision. That's just something like police need supervision. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that it's kind of tough. It's tough. We can sit back and think about ways, but we don't know who that person is. That ACS worker, she might not be on the up and up. You know, like in my situation, she believed the abusers, the actual abusers on paper. I found that on paper. You know what I'm saying? And didn't really question me. Didn't question my witnesses. So part of doing a thorough investigation sometime with a little compassion is it needs to be done. It needs to be done. And then these children, sometimes you might get baby kids that has grew up with no structure, living in the streets, using drugs, selling drugs, that lifestyle only. F that teacher. If she look at you, punch her in her face, you know, you should have threw your tray at her. I mean, you have some parents teaching their kids this stuff. You know, so when that child gets put into the system and comes to your house, the mama talking joke to you, you better not touch my child, I'm gonna come over and kill you. I mean, you gotta go through so much, sometimes even the foster parent, to even take that child. And that child, he's manipulating, and he wants to manipulate you, he wants to manipulate the other children. So, giving Ms. Hooper a good answer, sometimes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be some heavy. We need a task force. We need a task force to oversee ACS, to oversee some of these agencies. These agencies, it's only one rule book. Everybody's supposed to follow that one rule book. When I go to the hearing, I'm going with the rule book, because that's what I'm leading on. And if you do something, you can't give me a legitimate reason why you removed the children out of the home. Why did you move them? You know? So I believe we need better supervision with ACS, with these agencies, you know, to make things a little bit better. Ready, sis?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Here you go.
Well, what I think is that we need voices. We need more people to voice their opinion to make change. I think that ACS needs to be broken down and rebuilt. Some of those workers, they need to be terminated. They need change because what's going on in the foster care system shouldn't be done. These workers, Nick's Mary should never have done. Should have done. These workers are so busy worrying about what somebody has in their house or going to do an investigation where it needs to be investigated at, it's not being done. So to me, I feel that they need to knock it down and rebuild it. Someone needs to oversee ACS. ACS workers are very jealous. They come to your house, you work hard for what you get. They're looking around instead of them focusing on the children. Their focus is on what you have. And don't understand that you work hard to get where you at and what you have. So to me, break it down, rebuild it. We need change, and with change, we need people. So I feel that we need to get together to make change. We have to fight legislation to make change. We have to go to Albany and tell these people that we are not going to tolerate this no more. We are not going to accept a registry for 28 years. We are not going to accept our children making false allegations on us no more. We're not going to take no for an answer. Thank you.
I totally agree with both of you, but I think that to start out, I think some of the things that we could look at, just sort of like on a smaller scale, would be, I think that ACS, the team that goes out to do an investigation, or the person who goes out to do an investigation, it should be a team. And I think the reason why it should be a team is because you get two different perspectives with individual reports. I think that they should work as a team. The way it is now, you are basically subjected to one person in their decision. The supervisor doesn't come out with that one person. It's only what they go out and report back. I think that when the interviews are held with the children and when the interviews are held with the family, there should be more than one person so that you can so that it can be two people, it can be two perspectives at least. I think when a decision-making process is done, it should be against a team of people. Also in conjunction with their legal department, but I think it should be a team of people making that decision. The way it's done now is if a CPS worker comes out and they decide that you're guilty, they can write their paperwork in a way where it's persuasive and you are guilty. If they worked in teams, you would have a little more flexibility with what people were thinking. And I think that another thing is that transparency. I think that it should be transparency all around the board. I think that for contracted agencies, that they should bring back the case managers to overlook these agencies. I think some of the parts of improved outcomes for children, I think some of it is great. So the agencies have flexibility for decision making when it needs to be done, but I think that there needs to be some more accountability and brought back into it. I look for a day when there's no contracted agencies and all of the foster parents our ACS foster parents like they do in other counties and not contract the agencies so that everyone is going by the same accord and everyone knows what's going on. I think that when you have agencies, agencies have favorite foster parents, and those favorite foster parents get loads of children in their homes. When the foster parents who may advocate too much or talk too much or ask for too much, they'll never see a child because they could close your home without closing it by just not giving you any children. And those are some of the things that I think should happen. I think that, you know, there's no reason for someone with a 2-bedroom apartment to have 6 children in their home and someone with a 4-bedroom apartment to only have 1. And it's because that person gets on our nerves and she calls too many meetings and we can't get in her house. Or this, in my situation, she won't let us in before 5 o'clock and I gotta get home to my kids. And so she won't let us in. And when I bring my husband to the visit with me, she calls the agency and she takes a picture of me in her building with my husband and she sends it back to the agency. You know, so some of those things, I think that those are some of the things that they could work on a smaller level first. And I definitely believe that the registry should be looked at again because the 28 years is, I mean, you could actually, you're right, you could kill somebody and
Not get a death sentence.
and not get that.
So if I could, again, I'm Sandra Collette, Executive Director at Child Welfare Organizing Project. And I would just like to bring us back, right? Because I think that one of the things I know for sure is that if we have a child welfare system, I want you to hear me, if we have a child welfare system and not a child protection system, then we might get some of those things, right? Because it is a child welfare system. So that means that your concern first and foremost is for the well-being of that family, those children in their community, right? So that's where we start. So we don't have that right now.